It is the holiday season right here in Paso Robles, and you can just feel the buzz in the air. Thousands of visitors are in town at this very moment planning out their tasting routes. And you know what? Tonight, your website is going to be doing all the talking for you. The real question is, what's it saying? Okay, so let's just dive right in with a massive number, 2.5 million. That is how many people pour into our local wine country every single year. And every single one of them is a potential customer looking for an amazing tasting experience.
But here's the thing, back in the 80s, there were maybe, 17 wineries around here? Well, today, there are over 250. So when a visitor is sitting in their hotel room, scrolling on their phone, how on earth do they narrow down that huge list and decide to spend their time and their money with you?
And that brings us to our first section, what I like to call Paso's Holiday Gold Rush. This is all about understanding just how your potential customers are making these really important decisions in a very, very short amount of time.
So how's this decision actually being made? Well, it happens fast. A huge 87% of people start on Google. From there, 78%, almost 4 out of 5, will land on your website before they even think about visiting in person. And here's the real kicker. 2/3 of them spend less than an hour on all of this research. This is not some long, drawn-out process. It's a total snap decision. And this right here, this really illustrates the challenge. Most of those visitors will only even consider a grand total of 5 wineries. Just 5. In that split second, your website's only job is to get you on that short list. If it doesn't, you're out of the running before you've even had a shot. All right, let's move into section 2 because this builds on that idea. We're talking about the 50 millisecond judgment. That is literally how fast a visitor decides if they like your site, and by extension, if they're going to like your winery. This statistic is just staggering. A full 94% of a person's first impression is based on your website's design. Not the words, not the content, but the look and feel. So before they even read about your award-winning cab, they're already judging the quality of your wine based on the quality of your website. So here's the crucial takeaway. 3 out of every 4 potential customers are deciding if your business is credible and trustworthy based entirely on your website's design. An outdated site doesn't just look bad. It actively screams to visitors that you might not be a credible, high-quality operation. Now for section 3, the 3-second mobile test. This is so critical because remember, your visitors aren't sitting at a desk. They're on their phones, probably with spotty hotel Wi-Fi, trying to plan out their day right now. You have 3 seconds, that is it. If your website takes any longer than 3 seconds to load on a phone, you lose over half of your potential visitors. Poof, they're gone and they have already clicked over to your competitor's site down the road. And just look at how quickly the damage adds up. Just going from a 1-second load time to a 3-second load time increases the probability that a visitor will bounce, meaning leave immediately, by 32%. Every single second literally costs you customers. And here's the thing, you don't get a second chance. A massive 88% of people who have a bad experience on a website, let's say it's slow or clunky on their phone, they will simply never come back. That first mobile impression is very often your only impression. Okay, enough of the problems, let's pivot to the solutions. Section 4, what are the winning websites doing right? What are those essential treats that turn a website visitor into a paying tasting room visitor? It really just comes down to a simple 5-point checklist. Number 1, does it load fast? Number 2, does it work perfectly on a phone? 3, can someone book a tasting in just a couple of clicks? 4, does it actually tell your story? And finally 5, does it look current and signal that you're a quality brand? The whole goal here is to remove every single piece of friction between that visitor and your tasting room. So that brings us to our final section, the quiet season opportunity. We all know that after the holidays, things tend to slow down a bit, and that is exactly when you should be making your move for the next year. So this leads us to the big strategic question. When is the absolute best time to rebuild your digital front door to make sure you're ready for that next wave of tourists? Well, the answer is pretty simple. When your competition is taking a break. Look, the website that struggled this holiday season isn't going to magically fix itself. But if you act now, during the slow season, you set yourself up to win for the entire year to come. So, how do you do it? Well, for wineries here in Paso Robles and SLO County, you really need a local partner who's built to solve these exact problems. And that's really the whole idea behind YouGrow.pro.
That's the quick tip for today. If you want a professional website without the agency price tag or the DIY headache, here is the better way. At ugrow.pro, we build it, we manage it, and we handle every update forever, all for just $79 a month. There is zero setup fee, no contract, and it is strictly month to month, so there is zero risk. We're local here in Anaheim, and we can have you live in days, not months. Want to see what your site could look like? Go to ugrow.pro right now, and we'll design 3 custom mockups for your business, completely free, no strings attached. Thanks for watching, and keep growing.